Hi, I'm Jackie Leavenworth, and I'm a CRS instructor, and I've done a webinar with CRS and other webinars, and I worked with Amanda Schultz on a webinar on pricing, and it really turned out great, and I think the agents who were watching that webinar were really enjoying it. One of the things we did that was real special was Amanda and I worked in advance to plan questions that would be at certain points in the presentation. Like after slide 4, Amanda knew to ask me to explain deeper something that I knew the agents would be looking forward to. That added some interaction between Amanda as the moderator and me, and I think the agents really appreciated that. So that was just a great way to go.
Yeah. What?
As a distance learning professional, there's a couple things you must know. One is when you get on the webinar, it's not about you. I've been on a couple times where they just keep talking, and I go to make a point and they keep interrupting the point. So knowing the content well enough that you know when to interject and when not to interject, just like the plates, when they should come in or not. So know when to interject or not. Know where they're heading before they get there. So obviously you'll see that from their slides ahead of time. I can tell you, I put Amanda in a bunch of a hot mess because she doesn't see it ahead of time a lot of times because I run it from my own computer. So in an ideal world, if you're running the program, make sure you see all the slides in advance. Make sure you do the prep time. I remember I did one with Amanda. It was me and another person, I won't mention their name, and they got on to talk about a topic that flowed with it, and they didn't have a clue how to present. And unfortunately, that makes you look bad, that makes the other speakers look bad. It's just a bad situation. I think Amanda's done a great job with feeding questions in at timely and things. Well, let me just say that again. She's done a good job of feeding in the right questions at the right time. So having a good enough grasp of your speaker to know when they want to be interrupted, how they want to be interrupted, and with which content. So, for instance, if there's 3 or 4 questions, but they're going to address it later in their slides, there's no reason to interrupt them, because then you're going to break their flow. Another thing is keeping it light and lively. They're talking to a wall. The speaker's talking to a wall, they have no one to interact with. So if you set yourself up to be that friendly voice or that friendly laugh or whatever it is, that's going to help them in engaging the audience. So, of course, sometimes you're going to have to help them with slides. If you're dealing with older speakers and they don't understand technology, you might have to bring in video for them. You might have to bring in slides for them. So the more helpful you can be, the better it's going to be as far as the class and the presentation goes.
Well, wait. You probably
Oh,
get
yeah.
here.
That's fine. That's fine.
good.
Sitting right next to her.
During a tax webinar, one of the things that we came across was an issue of technology itself not working. As we're getting ready for the webinar, we had all the internet service in the building that Amanda was in completely go down. Amanda, in the last seconds, 15 minutes prior to the presentation, had to check into a hotel room, find internet access, get logged in so that we could all become one group again in the webinar. The nice thing about it is that we realized that even in the technology world there are issues that have to be overcome, but it was easy to overcome with just a little bit of smart, simple thinking, and Amanda taking care of everything quickly so that everything ran efficiently, right as it was supposed to.
Hi, I'm Mike Salvaggio, and I presented a webinar for CRS. And one of the things that made it easier for me was that a survey went out before the actual webinar and asked the participants what are the things they're doing now, and I helped create some of the questions. Are they using certain technologies or not? It gave me a real good idea what the audience wanted, which is really important. You need to know what they want. So that's what really helped me out.
What I thought really helped a lot was the rehearsal to get the timing down. Amanda made it really fun in how we could click back and forth and do what the slides were actually going to look like. When I took over, the fact that the music was playing and the fact that, like I said earlier, the people stayed on, and I liked it from the standpoint it was fun, was you could see when people logged in, you knew some of these people. So then when they typed in questions and that kind of stuff, you actually knew the person, and that made it, I think, live and alive from the standpoint that it wasn't alive, but it made it exciting for me. The first one went very, very well. The second one was really easy, and then by the time I did the third one, it was, to do an hour is really nothing.